Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Yolaudina Saputri. I will explain my research. The title is Student Achievement in Using Synchronous and Asynchronous System at SMA 1 Solo. The first is introduction. In introduction, have 5 topics to will discuss. The first is background of the problem. The second is identification of the problem. The third is formulation of the problem. The fourth is hypothesis of the research, and the last is purposes of the research. Okay, let's start about background of the problem. In this pandemic situation, Indonesian government issued policies such as social distancing, psychological distancing to PSBB, or pembatasan sosial berskala besar. And to anticipate that, the government has taken the right steps and we must obey the rules properly. In this condition requires people to stay at home. As a result of this policy, the education sector such as school and college is also closed in the learning process. Is carried out in their respective homes in a virtual learning. In online learning, it's divided into two systems, that is synchronous and asynchronous. According to WILS 2019-94, mentions that synchronous is a real, direct, and conversation time during instructional, and asynchronous is delayed before and after instructional. So the teacher must be creative in providing and delivering material to the students. Although virtual learning, students still maintain learning outcomes or grades in learning. Through virtual learning, many students prefer learn using synchronous system than asynchronous system because they can focus to one by one topic that the teacher explained. So, based on the above background, I am as a researcher establish the title is Students Achievement in Using Synchronous and Asynchronous System at SMA 1 Solo. The second is identification of the problem. In the current situations where everyone is affected, virtual learning to continue our learning activities is the right steps. We learn to use synchronous and asynchronous system. The formulation of the problem that are A. What the student understand the material presented by the teacher using synchronous and asynchronous system. B. Are the student more understand about the material through a synchronous and asynchronous system? C. Evaluating student learning outcomes through a synchronous and asynchronous system. The next is formulation of the problem. Here are some problem formulation to the researchers want to ask. That are first, what the student opinion about learning through synchronous and asynchronous system. 2. Do the student prefer to learn through synchronous or asynchronous? 3. Are the students more understanding the material using synchronous or asynchronous? And 4. Does using synchronous and asynchronous system have affect the value of the students? The fourth is hypothesis of the research. This hypothesis of the research is students understand in using the synchronous and asynchronous system. Hypothesis in the test with t-test and true sample. Okay, the last is purpose of the research. There are some purpose of the research. The first is checking student understanding of the material presented by the teacher through synchronous and asynchronous system, and evaluating student learning using synchronous and asynchronous system. Is review of related literature. The first is a review of related theories. In this related theories, we have 2 points to discuss. That is learning achievement and online learning. Okay, let's discuss the first about learning achievement. Concurrence with stressing on the recent advancement in educational technology, researchers believe that learning environment is one of the causes to specify the learner's diverse requirements. According to Zalfagri, Sattar Sabran, and Zalfagri 2009, mentions that the developed web system particularly brought about a revolutionary pace in education by bringing an alternative, anytime and anywhere, learning delivery methods for online learners around the world. This kind of advancement in educational technology has produced my benefits for both individual learners and organizations in several ways. The second is online learning. According to Graph 2007, has mentioned this as a necessity, and state the adaptability includes all facilities to customize the system for the needs of the educational institutions. In online learning, we have two systems using two. In online learning, we using two systems to deliver the material. That is synchronous and asynchronous system. We are discuss about synchronous. Synchronous learning, commonly supported by media such as video conferencing and chat, has the potential to support e-learners in the development of learning communities. And asynchronous learning, commonly facilitated by media such as email and discussion boards, support work relations among learners and the teachers, even when participants cannot be online at the same time. Review of related findings. Cognitive and personal dimensions of e-learning. That is asynchronous e-learning. Asynchronous e-learning can increase reflection and ability to process information. And synchronous e-learning can increase arousal, motivation, and convergence on meaning. The last is a theoretical framework. This figure explains that in this pandemic, we are using virtual learning that use two systems, that is synchronous and asynchronous system, to getting students' achievement. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.